Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling the energy oracle cards to get started. I really don't know what is going to be coming up in today's reading video, but I do get the sense that I am picking up on a portion of the collective that has been feeling a bit physically and emotionally exhausted lately. And I'm hearing the words refresh and reset. So if you have been feeling extra tired lately, either in the emotional sense or in the literal physical sense, I'm picking up a message from your spirit guides to really allow yourself the time and the space to really rest on a deep level and allow this kind of recalibration process that seems to be taking place naturally within you. So it's funny, when I was saying taking, I also almost wanted to say taking energy. So you may be noticing that this process is requiring a lot of energy from you, but it may not really make logical sense to you because on the surface, physically, you may feel as though you aren't really exerting that much physical effort. So the logical mind can kind of step in here and say, wait a second, why am I feeling so physically tired or emotionally exhausted when I'm not really doing that much physically on the surface? And it's because there is a lot happening beneath the surface. I'm hearing you are firing on all cylinders. There is this process of recalibration that is happening naturally within you. But even though it is happening naturally and possibly subconsciously, it's still requiring quite a bit of your energy, which could be leading to this feeling of being depleted. For some reason, I heard the word actor. So I don't know if there's someone here who is an actor or an actress or something about that is relevant to you. Maybe in a more metaphorical sense, there is someone who is playing some kind of role or almost like acting out a part here, whether that's you or someone else in your life. I also got the letters R-E-D-V-I and N. I don't know if those are in someone's first or last name here or somehow connected to someone. So I am going to be pulling up my love word scramble because I can already tell that we are getting some specific messages coming through today's reading. As I always say, use your intuition and only take the messages that do connect for you in a personal and intuitive way, because I do tend to channel into many different specific threads of energy, and those threads of energy could connect to something happening within you internally, to some kind of external person, group, or environment in your life, or they could just be meant for someone else. So of course, always use your intuition when it comes to that. Also, if you hear me sipping in the background, I am drinking my coffee today. So I just have a plain black coffee, but it is pumpkin spice flavored. So I am really enjoying that. It feels very seasonal since we are in the month of October. So I would love to know what you are eating or drinking if you do have something with you during this reading video. Also, I want to say that if you do want to tie your energy into this reading in a stronger way, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel. These are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy, which often allows me to channel more specifically for you over the course of time. So the first card we have here is the Envy card in the upright position. So there's someone feeling left out in the cold, or something feeling, I really feel this is a person here, not just an energy dynamic, although some of you may connect this with some kind of internal energy dynamic within yourself, some aspect of yourself that may be feeling unfulfilled. But I have to say that for most of you, and I'm getting something about the number 20, could be related to the year 2020, But I'm hearing that someone is feeling left out in the cold or cut out of your life in some way. And this person is feeling some sense of, the word void is coming out, like they're feeling in some kind of void here, in the dark, maybe in the dark when it comes to knowing information about you or your life. Like they definitely feel like they've been kind of removed from your inner circle. I'm hearing the word sanctuary. I don't know if that connects for someone. The word hope is also coming out. Maybe this person hopes that one day they can make their way back into your life or be closer to you. But I got the word south, the word pie, the word surrounded, circus, broken, world, ordinary, globe. Maybe this person is at some kind of geographical distance from you because we are getting the words world and also globe. So I heard something about a snow globe could be resonant for someone. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and shuffle the traditional tarot cards because I want to get some clarification on this. I do have to say for many of you, I strongly feel that this card does relate to some person who feels like they've been, I'm hearing excommunicated from your life, which sounds like a very intense way of wording it. That's just what's coming through here for some reason. But this is someone who perceives the circle around you as a sort of sanctuary, as very sacred, or maybe you provide some kind of sanctuary for people who are connected to you on an energetic level. You are kind of like a safe haven of sorts where people feel safe to open up, to share themselves emotionally, to let their guard down. But I also feel, I'm hearing safe harbor. I'm also hearing that you provide something for people who are connected to you. And we're talking on an energetic level. There's like some kind of blanket of protection and even something when it comes to manifestation. I feel this isn't just protection. It's like a boost energetically that people receive when they're connected to you that allows them to manifest more easily. The thing about this is people often take for granted the value of this gift of being close to you until they're disconnected from you. So this is something people often only realize consciously in its absence. I feel like this is someone who used to be very close to you or maybe got close to you very quickly. And I'm hearing you made some kind of exception for this person because you don't usually allow people that close to you this fast. I'm getting the word curiosity. Maybe this is someone who expressed a lot of curiosity about you, may have asked you a lot of questions, really wanted to get to know you on a deeper level. I'm hearing inquisitive. Like that's the kind of energy I'm picking up on this person, someone who was once very inquisitive about you, very curious about your life, really wanted to understand you is what I'm picking up here. But there's some sort of feeling of betrayal or hurt on your end, almost like this person wanted to gather all of this information about you or wanted to understand you, but then something occurred. I'm picking up like they did something that caused them to be excommunicated from your circle, that caused them to be thrown out of this sanctuary, so to speak, which at the time they didn't seem to really even fully value for what it was. But now they're actually realizing the value of what you provided for them energetically, but only in your absence. That's what I'm getting here very strongly. And I feel there's some sort of pride or something in this person that is making them very hesitant to want to come forward because they are almost like too proud to admit that they took you for granted or that they didn't fully see your value at the time. And so while they are sitting here in this energy of feeling unfulfilled and feeling left out in the cold when it comes to you, I also see them not communicating that and not coming towards you at the same time. So let me take a quick sip of my coffee here. This is getting pretty intense, but I will channel more details into this for whoever this is connecting for. Do let me know if this is for you, by the way, because I really don't know who this is going to be relating for. Okay, so something came up about saging or cleansing your living or working environment, like your space, the space that you occupy the most frequently. So that may be resonant for someone. I'm also hearing something about Epsom salt. So, of course, Epsom salt baths are a great way to cleanse your personal energy, your personal aura. Can I get any more information on this person who's feeling left out in the cold of your life? What do they want? Maybe that's kind of how you feel towards this person. Like, what do you want? Not like that is coming off in a harsh or cutting way necessarily, but I feel like you pick up that this person is still kind of longing for you or feeling cut out of your life. But from your perspective, there was this hurt and this betrayal from them. And also, they seem to be silent right now. They don't really seem to be communicating all of this. They don't seem to be coming towards you. So it's almost like what I get from your energy is, what do you want? Like, why are you still here? Why do I still feel your energy? I'm hearing like haunting me symbolically, like still around me. And we have the card Judgment. Okay, yeah, they want forgiveness. And we have Libra energy here as well, but this is Libra season. It's strange because this person wants forgiveness, but they don't seem to really be asking for it. They don't seem to be actually making the move towards you. I heard the word overwhelmed. So this could be someone who is feeling overwhelmed by something. I saw a dog in my mind's eye as well. Blame. We have the blame card. I accept responsibility for my well-being. I feel like they are taking the blame, and it seems rightfully so, for some kind of disconnect that occurred between the two of you. I'm hearing I blame myself. That's what I'm getting from this person. And surrender. I can release my need to control. I'm hearing control the narrative. Like this person may have tried to control a narrative or control how you perceived them or how much they were opening up to you. And what I'm getting so strongly is they got too close to you in the sense that there's something about you, and we talked about this just a little bit earlier, that makes people feel safe to open up, to cry, to share themselves, to share their dreams, to be their most vulnerable, authentic self. And that is a beautiful gift that you carry, the gift of creating a natural sense of safety, like this safe container where others feel as though they can truly let down their guard and show up as their most authentic self. But for someone who isn't really familiar with their own authentic self, the way that you bring that out of people, the way that you unravel them in a sense, the way you bring down their defenses is going to be very alarming or very startling if they don't even really know who they are behind all of those defenses. And so what I pick up with this person is they were very intrigued by your energy, very enticed by you, like magnetically pulled into your orbit. And I'm actually hearing they were the one who like initiated things initially or made moves towards you. I feel like you had an awareness that this person may not have been ready for you, for someone like you. And so you let them come towards you. I feel like you didn't really pursue this person actively. You let them set the tone and set the pace because you held an awareness that they might not be fully ready to meet you at your depth, that the way you bring out the authentic self of others might actually intimidate them in the end. So you really allowed them to come towards you, but they did. They moved towards you. They wanted to be closer. They seemed to express a lot of intrigue, a lot of curiosity. And I'm getting that they stepped past the point of no return. That's what I'm hearing. I feel that there was a moment where it's like they were kind of towing a line between keeping things on the surface and falling all the way in, which is kind of a callback to one of my song lyrics from my song, The Light in Your Room, which is available on Spotify if you want to check out the full lyrics. My Spotify is Songs by Infinity. I have 5 channeled songs, or 4. I almost said 5 because I am working on my 5th song right now as we speak, but I have 4 channeled songs available there already. And you may find some kind of message in one of those songs for you, but particularly this song has a lyric that says, "You're dancing on the edges, I'm falling all the way in." And so I feel that this person was literally towing some kind of line when it came to you, where they wanted to be close to you, but they didn't want to lose control of something. They didn't want to fall all the way into something. And there's something about your energy that makes it impossible not to surrender, meaning people can't seem to fully control the narrative, even like the narrative of themselves around you. Like, we all have these stories that we tell ourselves about who we are, about our intentions, about our persona. And a lot of these stories are constructed by the ego mind. And this is someone who hadn't gone through a spiritual awakening. And so their ego was still very strong within them, defining their persona, their beliefs, their desires, their perception of themselves. And you make it impossible to keep a handle on that ego-built persona. And so it's like they got too close to you, stepped over that line that they've been towing for a while. And there may have even been a moment where you noticed or you realized in that moment that they had stepped over that line. I'm seeing someone like looking at you and just looking startled or surprised. This may have been a moment where maybe there was something romantic that took place between you or something that was expressed or just this silent shift that occurred. But I feel like there was some moment where there was a mutual knowing that you had both stepped over, well, they had stepped over the line that they'd been towing. I feel like the whole time you'd been very firmly like holding your ground, letting them, again, like set the pace here, letting them come to you. And I feel like you were almost surprised actually how willing they were to do that they didn't get scared off earlier on. I feel this person surprised you with how they were actually really deeply curious about you and wanting to get closer to you for seemingly quite some time. And yet eventually they crossed over some line that required them to fully let go of control, that required them to fully surrender, and they couldn't do it, at least not at the time. And so they disconnected or disappeared or created some kind of distance. And now I'm picking up like this person is taking responsibility for that internally, even though they've been very quiet externally. And I'm really curious with this surrender card, if they're at the point where they're ready to surrender. So I'm going to pull a few more cards here. Again, I'm hearing, why are you still here? That might be what you're feeling about this person. Like, why? And you do have this gift, by the way, of sensing when people are still in your orbit spiritually and energetically, even when they are absent from your life physically. So even when someone isn't necessarily communicating with you in the 3D, even when they're not coming around physically or wanting to see you physically, you are psychic to the fact that someone is still orbiting you or still telepathically sending you a lot of energy or feeling a lot of things about you. And that's what's occurring here with this person. So can I channel anything else here? I'm going to see if there's another emotion card here. Doubt in the reverse. So this is someone who is sure about something that they were once doubting. Sure about something they were once doubting. Interesting. What is it that this person is so sure about that they were once doubting? The 5 of Wands reversed. They want some kind of compromise. The 9 of Cups reversed. There's some kind of broken dream here. Dissatisfaction. They lost something that was truly like what they were dreaming about, or their dream come true, or their ultimate wish fulfillment. And that I'm hearing they were too quick to let go. I'm getting Sagittarius, Leo, Pisces energy here also. So yeah, I feel like this person felt like they would be able to disconnect from you or walk away and not feel any regret about it. I'm hearing they had absorbed almost some of the effect of being in proximity to your aura and your energy, and to the point where they believed that was their own energy. So they may have started believing like they were just naturally on some kind of an upswing in their life, or feeling more inspired or feeling more motivated or having these good things happen for them. And so they did something that caused you some kind of hurt or betrayal and caused them to be excommunicated from your life. Now, it's interesting. I'm hearing a spiritual exile. That's what I'm getting from excommunicated, a spiritual exile. So you may be feeling as though this person ghosted you or disappeared, but what you don't realize is your spirit guides literally exiled this person from your sanctuary, exiled them from your life. They basically said, no, you are no longer allowed to connect with, I'm hearing like the beloved, the chosen one, like being you, being this like beautiful, powerful, authentic being that you are. This person was literally no longer allowed to connect with you in the same way because of something they did or because of a shift within them where they began to take you for granted in some sense, and they believed that these positive shifts in their life were originating from them, when in actuality, these positive things were starting to happen for them because they were connected to your energy. It was the proximity to your energy that brought this magic into their life, but they were then laying claim to the magic and then somehow causing you to feel taken for granted, or I'm hearing like ignored in some way. And then that caused them to be spiritually excommunicated from your life. And you may have kind of been baffled by all of this because I'm hearing a lot happen behind the scenes that you were never consciously made aware of, that you may have just had some sense of on an intuitive level. You may not have even really known why this person just disappeared, but they didn't even really disappear of their own accord. It was something that they did or a way that they were treating you that caused your spirit guides to cut this person out of your life because they were somehow taking you for granted. That's what I'm picking up on here. So this really was a form of divine protection for you, but I feel it still came with a lot of grief because there did seem to be, and there still is, a lot of potential in this connection. Now, of course, potential is one thing, and someone actually showing up for and aligning with that potential is another thing. But I feel that part of your grief right now is still being able to sense the potential between the two of you that has never played itself out in the physical, at least not yet. So yeah, that potential is the King of Wands. This person being a visionary, a leader, being inspired. There's Scorpio and Sagittarius energy here. This person stepping into their power. If they are a masculine, this is them stepping into their healed, divine masculine energy, healing themselves as well with the Three of Swords in the reverse position. I'm also hearing something about how them stepping into their power in this way would have required them to release some kind of pain from their past, but they chose to avoid it or to bypass it instead of healing it. It's almost like they're putting a band-aid on that past pain right now that they would be required to actually face and heal internally in order for them to move forward with you. With the Knight of Swords, I have to say what I feel right now in this person's energy is a newfound sense of certainty that is very likely to motivate fast-moving action. I feel like there's been this massive shift in their energy and they're determined to achieve some kind of outcome here, determined to make some kind of progress here with the Six of Swords in the upright position, whether this is in their personal life or with you. But I am getting that even if this progress is only related seemingly to their personal life, ultimately the goal is you. The goal is like they want to address these things internally and in their personal life to one day be able to reapproach you, or I'm hearing to reapproach your sanctuary that they were exiled from previously. Can I get any other information? This is such a fascinating reading. Yeah, they are very aware that they fumbled some kind of potential union or reunion that could have been really beautiful. I'm hearing canceled plans. I'm just seeing this like celebratory party or event that is just completely canceled. I'm hearing, can we take a rain check? Maybe that's what this person said. Or maybe that's kind of what they did energetically. It's like they tried to take a rain check on this whole connection to kind of push something further down the line, maybe because they knew on some level that in order to fully move this connection with you ahead, it would require that internal healing we talked about earlier, for them to face something internally within themselves that they didn't want to look at or face. And so they may have been trying to kind of bypass it, to put a Band-Aid on it, to push it further down the line. But then there was that moment where, like we spoke on earlier in this reading, they overstepped some kind of line here, and there was no choice anymore. It was the choice to either fully let go of control, let go of this persona that they constructed that was never really them, and lean into where their soul was leading them, which, by the way, you're the one who really woke up their spirit, woke up their soul within them. Or the other option was to bypass, but in doing so, they would be exiled from your sanctuary, from your life. They would be disconnected from you physically. And I feel that at the time, or at least for the time being, they chose that second option. They chose to bypass and to allow themselves to be kind of thrown out of your life spiritually. But now they are feeling very certain about something they had doubt about before. They are now being motivated to want to take very fast action here. They have a completely new perspective here on something. They're realizing, I'm hearing realizing their own confusion, or realizing something about a miscommunication. And I'm seeing in my mind's eye, of course, now we all have cell phones, but I'm seeing an actual phone line being cut. So it's almost as though someone cut the communication or cut the connection, or like somehow interfered with their understanding of you or with the way that they were communicating with you. Maybe there was some kind of external person or influence that made them cut contact with you, or influenced them to cut contact with you because of a miscommunication or a misperception is what I'm picking up here as well. Maybe a misperception of you. Maybe someone painted you in a certain way around this person, and they bought into it, and it like confused them, and then they cut contact with you as a result of that, or that person kind of influenced them to cut contact, and then they were thrown out of your life spiritually. But now they're realizing, wait a second, I was just confused. I didn't have all of the information. I didn't have the full picture. I just keep picking up that this person really strongly wants some kind of forgiveness here. But the strange thing is, it feels like they haven't asked you for that forgiveness directly. And I feel like you're being put in that position of being in the in-between, where you can sense that this person does want forgiveness from you. You can sense that they aren't asking for it. And yet you're kind of in that place where you know, in the physical, it's in your best interest to hold your ground, to not sacrifice or betray yourself by putting yourself out there and making it easy for this person to come back into your life. You know that they have to be the one to take those steps towards you. You've left the door open in some kind of way, and they have to be the one to take the initiative here in order to actually potentially receive the forgiveness that they're asking for. If that is, and of course, that's entirely your decision, whether or not you are to forgive this person or let them back into your life. But I'm hearing that they have to find that out on their own. And so you've been guided to not reach out to this person, to not be the bridge for them, to not make it easy for them, because they have to show that they are really committed to making amends here, if that is the pathway that they're going to go down. And I see it's the path they want to go down. There is that point of pride that we talked about earlier. Yeah, this is definitely requiring courage from them. And I feel that their own personal spirit guides and the higher forces guiding their life and guiding this connection are really calling forth that level of courage out of them, trying to push them into that courage. Yeah, the courage to go after what they really want here with the 10 of Pentacles. to create a new foundation here as well with you, to not be complacent, because I feel like that's where they've been with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. They're being pushed from that Knight of Pentacles reverse energy, that complacency, just kind of putting a Band-Aid on things, bypassing the internal healing, being in this sort of negative state of being where they're stalling out. They're shifting from that into the Knight of Swords that we talked about earlier, making big changes, taking fast action, feeling a determination to really go after what they want here. And this is their transformation to undergo. And it's the transformation they would have to undergo if they want a chance to re-enter your life in a significant way. Yeah, and they're really going to, if they go this route, have to come very clean about everything that occurred. And I feel like that's part of why they've been hesitating, because they know there are things that were either going on in their life or things that were done that you were protected from without being aware of, meaning this person was cut out of your life because through whatever those things were, they were taking you for granted, but they never fully opened up to you about those things. Now, for some of them, this could simply be struggles that were going on in their own life, things that were overwhelming them that you never really pushed them to open up about because you knew that needed to be their choice, but that they were afraid to share with you because they didn't want to be perceived as weak. But I feel like you were inviting them at the time to open up those struggles, to share those things with you, and they were afraid to do that. And that may have been part of why they were thrown out of your life as well, or why this disconnect occurred, because again, as we talked about throughout this reading, there's something about your energy that pulls forth confessions from people, that pulls forth truth. I wanted to say pours forth. It's like people want to pour forth their truth, their story when they're around you. But the very fact that you have that effect on others, while it can be very deeply rare and refreshing to some who are highly conscious, who are committed to that practice of continuously introspecting and healing themselves, like excavating themselves and their soul, it can be equally terrifying to someone who is trying to actively run from themselves or avoid certain things within themselves that they haven't wanted to face. And I feel this person was more so in that second camp, where there were things that they were actively trying to avoid that you were bringing up within them simply through your presence, not because you were pushing any kind of point, but simply it was the effect of your energy on this person. But I'm sensing a massive change in them, because I really feel they are ready for something that they weren't ready for in the past. I'm hearing ready for a new level of honesty and openness. But of course, it's up to them to take those actions and make those movements towards you. So this has been a very interesting reading. I'm very curious to know who this connects for. And if this did relate for you, I would love to hear from you in the comments underneath these videos. It really helps to be able to read your comments and to know how some things are relating specifically to certain individuals, because sometimes while I'm channeling, especially when I'm channeling specifics, I really have no idea how those specifics are going to connect for certain people. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your time, your beautiful light, your energy here with this virtual space on YouTube. If this whole reading and really the energy here has resonated for you, I would love for you to subscribe, join our beautiful community here on YouTube. And if you are connecting with this reading and you'd like to continue with me to the extended version, where I will be heading to next, you can listen to the extended either on Patreon or YouTube memberships. And the link to listen is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love. Have a beautiful day, and I will connect with you here again in Wednesday's collective reading.